Without any further ado, let me take you through the day's headlines, where over 2.4 million learners will sit the Kenya Primary School Assessment and the Kenya Junior Education Assessment examinations set to officially begin today, marking the start of a crucial period for millions of learners that is across the country. According to the timetable released by the Kenya National Examination Council, the three-day assessment will run from Monday to Wednesday across all registered centers. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos Ogamba has called for vigilance and integrity in the exams, warning that stern action will be taken against anyone involved in any malpractice.
Watoto wetu wameanza kufanya mtihani wa 2025.
The stage is set for this year's primary school assessments, with 1.3 million grade 9 candidates set to sit the inaugural Kenya Junior School Education Assessment KBC countrywide on Monday. According to Kenya National Examination Council's revised timetable, the Pioneer Grade 9 cohort's first session paper will be English language. Candidates with hearing impairment and visually impaired candidates will be accorded extra time in an exam that will start at 8:30 a.m. and end at 10:40 a.m. This will be followed by English composition and literary analysis for both sets of learners between 11:10 a.m. and 1:25 p.m. Similarly, 1.2 million grade 6 learners will also sit their Kenya Primary School Education Assessment KBC. The assessment timetable indicates that the candidates will do mathematics from 8:30 a.m. to 9:50 a.m., mathematics large print from 8:30 a.m. to 9:50 a.m., and mathematics braille from 8:30 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. This will be followed by English assessment, including for learners with hearing impairment, between 10:50 a.m. and 12:10 p.m. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos Ogamba has cautioned school heads and students that action will be taken against any individual caught trying to compromise the integrity of the national examinations.
Na ukipatikana ukiengage in any malpractice or irregularity, kwa sababu tumeelezea watu vile inatakana kufanywa, sheria itachukua mkondo yake na utafungwa.
24,213 center managers will be in charge of centers that will have both KBC and KGC. Additionally, 26,479 supervisors and 125,492 invigilators will administer the 2025 KBC and KGC. Meanwhile, Teachers Union NAT Mumias Branch Secretary General Cyprian Mukamani is calling on the Ministry of Education to honor the invigilators and teachers by paying their dues on the right time without delays.
We are going to invigilate the exam. We shall mark, we shall combine lists and take to Nairobi. It will be very unfair after we have done this. At the end of the day, we are told there is no money.
Parents have been urged to accord candidates the necessary support throughout the examination period.
We want parents now, you give us ample time, because we shall not know any parent who's allowed to give a visit to the school during this time.
Thank you, Joseph Wakongo, for that report. And definitely we do wish all the candidates the very best in the examinations. And we'll also be expecting a link from my colleague, that is Wycliffe Okech, who is actually out and about, just seeing how the preparations are going on, even as the exams begin today. So, but before that, let's move on. But we'll bring you Wycliffe Okech in just a short moment. A family in Kakamega is distraught following the discovery of the body of their 21-year-old daughter lying in a pit. Her family, who have been searching for her since Friday when she went missing, are alleging foul play, calling for speedy probe into her death. This comes amid concerns over the failure by one of the landlords to seal off the pit where her body was discovered. Nancy Okwari with the details of the search that ended in tragedy, with more questions than answers.
What began as a search for 21-year-old Wendy Eda, who went missing on Friday, has ended in tragedy. This following the discovery of her lifeless body inside a sewage pit in Juakali Phase 2 estate on the outskirts of Kakamega town. Her mother vividly recalls her last moments with Wendy.
Mtoto wangu aliamuka ni mzima, akaosha vyombo, akakaa ananichekea tu, ananiambia mama be strong, venye mimi niko strong. Kweli nilikuwa strong, sikujua mtoto wangu ananiaga.
The family is now alleging foul play, calling for a speedy probe.
Lakini kuna one man alikuwa na threatening mtoto wangu kila sana. I want to marry you. Huyu mtu anaishi hapo juu. Alikuwa suspect wangu wa kwanza. Niliona nikamwambia mtoto wangu sijampata. Akacheka tu, nikamwambia unacheka na itakuwa una serious note. Nikanyamaza. Kama mtu aliona weakness ya mtoto wangu amfanyie kitendo. Asema mtoto alijirusha kwa shimo.
Kama alichukua advantage ya kuona labda amepata bibi, labda amepata girlfriend, but sasa maybe aliona after kumdandia hiyo maofu, mtoto wangu apatane na kifo kama hiyo.
Residents are blaming the landlord for endangering the lives of tenants by leaving the pit uncovered.
Hii shimo, sheria ya Kenya inasema mtu yeyote uchimbe choo na ufunike. Na ikiwa hii choo imekaa karibu miaka 3, mpaka karibu watoto wawili wakufie ndani.
Nilikuwa na machozi mingi, nikasema Undunga, nimekuambia mara mingi drena chufunge. Undunga mapatiza maisha mtoto wangu.
Nimepigia health officer. Nadhani kesho tutakuwa hapa na maafisa wa county wa health, public health, na nimeambia wananchi kwamba kama unajua wewe ni landlord na uko na septic tank ambayo iko wazi, na kuomba tafadhali uweze kuziba hiyo septic tank.
The family has vowed not to relent until they unravel the puzzle behind Wendy's death.
Indeed, a very tragic story there. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen says the government has heightened multi-agency security coordination framework and the vigilance of maritime surveillance systems in the country. This follows the interception of a stateless vessel with 1,024 kilograms of narcotics with a street value of 8 billion shillings seized 630 kilometers east of Mombasa coast. 6 Iranian nationals aboard the vessel were arrested and will be arraigned in court once preliminary investigations are concluded.
The government is scaling up efforts in the fight against drugs in the country, with Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen now saying the government has heightened multi-agency security coordination and vigilance of maritime surveillance systems.
Kwa sababu ya ukakamavu na ile resolve ya president pamoja na jeshi yetu na polisi wetu including the Coast Guard, mumeona kwamba tumeshika madawa ya kulevya kutoka high seas ambao Iranians walikuwa wanatembeza huko karibu na maji yetu ya up to 10 billion shillings, worth 10 billion shillings.
This follows the interception of a stateless vessel Saturday in the Indian Ocean with 1,024 kilograms of narcotics with a street value of 8 billion shillings seized. Preliminary forensic tests confirmed the seized substance to be methamphetamine with a purity level of 98%. In a statement to newsrooms, Murkomen says that operation was based on actionable intelligence that led to the interception of a ship identified as MV Eagle. 6 Iranian nationals aboard the vessel were arrested and are said to be arraigned in court once preliminary investigations are concluded.
Na unaona hao wanapelekwa kotini na hivi karibuni utaona tukidestroy those madawa ya kulevya publicly, because we have resolved as a nation that we must fight drugs, we must fight illicit alcohol, we must fight all kind of vices that are destroying the lives of our people. Lazima chief, assistant chief, our OCSs work together to get rid of all these vices that are destroying our young people.
Murkomen further says the government will work in collaboration with other international partners to trace and disrupt the wider criminal networks associated with the seizure.
Now, Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, and Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah have defended the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Amendment Act 2025. The duo have described the contentious act as a necessary moral safeguard to protect families, children, and national security from the dangers of online exploitation, extremism, and cultism. Speaking during a church service at St. Teresa's Isanjiro Catholic Church in Malava, the two leaders dismissed growing criticism that the law infringes on freedom of expression, insisting that it aligns with global standards and empowers authorities to remove harmful digital content, including pornography and extremist material. The father used the occasion to rally the Luya community to unite, urging residents to back a government-aligned candidate in the upcoming Malava by-election.
They have been peddling lies that the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendment Bill or Act is there to undermine the rights of Kenyans to communicate or to engage with each other on social media. Far from the truth, the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act of 2025 is designed or was modeled to protect the Kenyan families.
Hii sheria imepitishwa kule Marekani, hii sheria imepitishwa kule Ufaransa, hii sheria imepitishwa kule Australia, hii sheria imepitishwa kule Uingereza, hii sheria iko katika bunge la Ufaransa inaendelea, hii sheria iko katika kila mahali kuprotect jamii. These children are in very formative stages. Na lazima the commissioner wa protection ya watoto awe na uwezo wa kisheria kuadhibu wale watu wakora.
Well, the Central Management Committee of the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, is expected to convene on Monday, that is today, to chart the party's political future amid growing internal discord and jostling following the death of its leader, Raila Odinga. Having earlier appointed Senator Oburu Odinga as interim party leader, the committee will also evaluate the progress of the 10-point framework agreed upon with the ruling United Democratic Alliance.
With tension mounting over the party's direction in the wake of the death of Raila Odinga, the Central Management Committee is gearing up for its inaugural session under the stewardship of acting party leader Oburu Odinga. The agenda includes 3 key items: the November mini polls, celebrations to mark its 20th anniversary, and a review of the party's role within the broad-based government. The committee will also assess the implementation status of a 10-point pact signed with UDA. This comes in the wake of internal dissent. The party's Secretary General Edwin Sifuna maintains ODM will field a presidential candidate, while the national chairperson Gladys Wanga asserts that the party is firmly embedded within government under the broad-based arrangement. Ahead of a meeting, a youth faction within ODM, the Movement for the Defense of Democracy, MDD, has thrown its support behind Oburu Odinga to be named the substantive party leader,
so that then they can ratify and adopt the resolutions of the neck of the party and confirm Dr. Oburu Odinga as the party leader of the Orange Democratic Movement in an official position and capacity now, and not in an acting capacity.
That we are going to walk the journey together. The captain has gone, and we have a new captain who is going to take us to Canaan and to negotiate on our behalf and give us a political direction. As the ODM fraternity,
sisi tunamuunga Mheshimiwa Oburu mkono kama kiongozi wa chama cha chungwa, na pia kusema kwamba kutokea leo yeye ndiye ataongoza vuguvugu hili na tutakuwa chini yake vile baba alikuwa tulikuwa chini ya baba.
We shall work together with Raila left us in a broad-based government arrangement, and we shall continue in that line together with this group.
The group, which paid tribute at Raila's Kango Kajaramogi, is now urging the National Governing Council to convene and formally confirm Oburu's leadership. Meanwhile, The ODM Turkana branch has also declared its support for Oburu's elevation to party leader.
We look forward to supporting him, to working with him, and more so in strengthening the party even more so that the legacy for Baba remains alive even for many years to come.
Turkana people love Raila. They loved Raila so much. And that love will not stop. We will continue loving Raila and the family.
Controversy continues to deepen over contents of the Religious Organizations Bill 2024, with a section of religious leaders terming the proposed law as punitive. The men of the cloth are warning the bill is a threat to Kenya's constitutional freedom of worship, calling for its withdrawal. Timothy Kipnusu has the details of the proposed law that appears to ike a section of the clergy even before the debate kicks off in Parliament.
Proposals contained in the Religious Organizations Bill and Policy 2024 have elicited mixed reactions. The latest to join in the debate is the Federation of Evangelical and Indigenous Christian Churches in Kenya, who warned the bill is a threat to freedom of worship as enshrined in the Constitution.
Hamwezi kaa chini mtengeneze sheria ambayo inakuja kuharibu uhuru wa kuabudu. Najua kwamba sheria zetu zinaruhusu freedom of worship, na uwezi ukakuja kutuwekea sheria ambayo inakuja kuregulate Mungu ambaye tunatumikia. Yeye ndio mwenye kanisa.
According to Faith CCK chairperson Bishop Samuel Njiriri, the bill, if approved, will lock out indigenous churches.
Ndio tunaomba EAK, NCCK na SUPKEM ambao walikaa chini wanajipendekeza ati wao wenyewe ndio wachaguliwe, kwa hiyo wawe ati ndio watakuwa kwa hiyo commission, ndio wakuje wafunge haya makanisa madogo madogo. Hiyo tumekataa kabisa. Sisi ndio wengi kuliko nyinyi na umbrella ziko nyingi sana.
It is calling on legislators not to pass the bill.
Kuna sheria, existing law, ambao tunasema deal na religious extremism. Kuna watu ambao watu kama hii Shakahola na nini, kuna sheria ambao inaruhusu watu kama hao washikwe, wapelekwe kotini, wafunguliwe mashtaka. Lakini sio kuchukua kanisa tunaiweka katika gunia moja, tunapiga vita moja. Hiyo kanisa ni la Kristo, tuachane na kanisa. Hii serikali tuliwekwa na kanisa, na tunajua Rais William Ruto hatakubali. Vile mimi ninamjua hatakubali hiyo sheria iende ipite.
In the meantime, the Alliance for Change Party has opposed the bill on grounds it risks turning faith into a tool of state control.
Kenya has come too far in political, civic and religious freedom to be pushed towards dictatorship, disguised as progress. Let it be known, we will stand guard over these freedoms, and this two-draft document must be rejected in entirety.
Party leader Amina Guyo Halake says the draft is unconstitutional, calling for its withdrawal.
We, the people of Kenya, will not allow the separation between church and state to be eroded. Not today, not ever. On the Religious Organization Policy 2024, while I acknowledge the state's stated intentions to promote accountability and cohesion, the policy as currently drafted poses a serious constitutional and practical challenges.
The proposed law is a brainchild of the Task Force on the Review of Legal and Regulatory Framework governing religious organizations in Kenya, spearheaded by retired Reverend Mutava Musimi. Elsewhere, a section of religious leaders have condemned the statement by Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga following the death of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
Ni maneno ambao aliongea kuhusu kifo ya Raila ilistua kila mtu, kwa sababu maisha ni ya Mungu, kuishi ni Mungu. So mtu kusema anafurahia mtu akikufa, hiyo ni kitu ambao hatujaisikia. And as a Christian, sababu I believe he is one, ukisema ati mtu unafurahia mtu kukufa, unashangaa kwa sababu unajua kabisa uhai ni wa Mungu.